Did Paul ever say the Sabbath was abolished? Hint, no. They say Paul did away with the Sabbath, that he abolished the fourth commandment and nailed it to the cross. But I ask you, where did he say this? Where, in all his letters to the churches of Corinth, Ephesus, Galatia, and Rome, did Paul declare the Sabbath obsolete? Search the scriptures. You will find no decree, no declaration, not a single verse that abolishes the Sabbath. Instead, you will find him defending it, honoring it, and preaching on it. Look at his writings. In Acts 13:42-44, it is written that Paul preached to the Gentiles on the Sabbath, and they begged him to speak to them the next Sabbath. Not Sunday, not the first day of the week. These were Gentiles, unconverted Greeks and Romans, not Jews bound by tradition. If the Sabbath were abolished, why would Paul keep it with the Gentiles? Why would they beg him to speak again on the Sabbath if it were no longer sacred? Can you explain that? Here it is again. And Paul, as his custom was, went in unto them, and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the Scriptures. This was Paul's custom, not an accident, not a rare occasion. His custom. What does custom mean? A practice, a tradition of his own life, an unbroken habit of Sabbath worship. But you might say, Colossians 2:16, Paul said not to judge anyone concerning Sabbaths. But did you read the whole text? Paul was rebuking the man-made traditions that the Pharisees and religious leaders tried to attach to God's holy day, not the Sabbath itself. Paul was fighting legalism, not God's commandment. He was condemning the added burdens of ritualistic tradition, not the holy observance that God himself declared in Exodus 20:8. Some claim that Romans 14:5 abolishes the Sabbath, when Paul writes, "One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind." But I ask you, was Paul speaking about the weekly Sabbath? Or was he addressing ceremonial feast days, fasting days, and man-made observances? The context is clear. Nowhere does it declare the Sabbath obsolete. Pastors, where is your scripture? Imams, where is your proof? Priests, you claim apostolic succession. Then show me the verse where Paul abolished the Sabbath. I challenge you to open the pages of the New Testament and read the words for yourselves. You will find no command, no decree, and no apostolic letter that removes the Sabbath from God's law. On the contrary, you will find Paul defending the law. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law. Romans 3:31. How can you say the Sabbath is gone when Paul declares the law established? How can you stand behind the pulpit and claim that God's holy day has been swept away by grace? And what of Hebrews 4:9? It declares, "There remaineth therefore a rest, sabbatismos, to the people of God." Sabbatismos, a Sabbath rest. Not abolished, not changed, but remaining. Why would the writer of Hebrews use this term if the Sabbath were done away with? Because it wasn't. It still stands as God's holy day. So I ask you now, did Paul ever say the Sabbath was abolished? No. In fact, he kept it. He taught it. He preached it to the Gentiles, upheld it in his letters, and declared that the law is established through faith. What then will you do? Will you continue to believe the whispers of tradition? Or will you open the scriptures and see the truth with your own eyes? Will you follow Paul's example, or will you follow the traditions of men?